Hey cleaning family, it's Carolyn Arellano, your cleaning business mentor. And in today's YouTube video, we are going to talk about how to price residential house cleaning. So be sure to stick around for the entire video. Hey cleaning family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to price residential house cleaning. Now, I know that this is a very hot topic, especially for those that are just starting out with cleaning homes. We want to make sure that number one, we are making money, but most importantly, we want to be sure that we are turning a profit and that we are pricing in a manner that we can later on scale this cleaning business. So this video is going to be a video for those that are looking to eventually hire other cleaning technicians, whether that is the 1099 subcontractor model or the W-2 employee model. There are a few different factors that go into how to price a house cleaning. Now, the first one is going to be your hourly rate. Meaning, what do you want to bill your clients for every single hour that you are out cleaning or have an employee or subcontractor cleaning for your business? Number two, you are going to need to know or have a understanding of what your production rate is going to be. Now, production rate means how long is it going to take to clean this home? Or you can even break it down to how long is it going to take to clean this room, this refrigerator, this oven, and so forth. I will be linking a link in the description of this video on our residential cleaning bid calculator that I have created for residential home cleaning companies that already have my business's clean times pre-populated, and all you have to do is go ahead and plug in your hourly rate. So we've discussed the hourly rate that you want to charge your clients. We have discussed production rates. And of course, the third part to this equation is what are your costs going to be? Now, I should have probably started off with what are the costs going to be, because that is going to have or play a role in what you're going to be charging per hour that you're cleaning. Something that you want to keep in mind is that once you set a price, whether that is hourly or a flat rate for a home, it is going to be very difficult to increase that pricing with your residential cleaning clients in the future. So if you start off extremely low, once you start to grow and you need to increase your pricing, whether that's because of products, gas, or because now you're paying someone else to come in and clean, it is not going to go over very well. And this is all based on my own experience. So I suggest starting off at an hourly rate where it makes sense. Meaning, don't start pricing as if you are always going to be solo cleaning, because the goal should always be to grow and scale this cleaning business, because at the end of the day, we only have a limited amount of hours and we can only clean homes, so many homes in a day or in a week before you completely cap out. All right, so my next point is I'm going to be doing a lot of speaking about hourly rates and hourly pricing. Now, this is how I have always ran my business and will continue to run my residential side of my cleaning business, because I like to get paid for every single hour that my technicians are out in the field cleaning. Now, you can also price at a flat rate, but I will give you just a little bit of reasons as to why we don't price at a flat rate. Now, regardless or not, if you price at a flat rate, you are still considering an hourly rate, how much this clean is going to cost you, and how long you are going to be in that cleaning. So I will give you an example. Let's say you tell me we charge $200 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, right? I'm going to come back and say, okay, well, how long is that going to take you to clean? And you would say to me, well, that takes us about 4 hours to clean based on our production rate. Now, 200 divided by 4 is $50. Now, on the flip side of that, I could tell you that my hourly rate is $50 an hour. And a home your size typically takes 4 hours to clean. Now, the difference between that flat rate and leaving it open as an hourly rate is that if you happen to go overtime, you are not going to get paid the difference. So let's say you estimate a clean to take 4 hours and you show up and the dirt level is higher, or it is just a complete disaster for whatever reason that may be. Maybe there's a lot of organizing that's going into this that you just weren't expecting. Maybe the house is bigger. Maybe, like I mentioned, the dirt level is just higher than anticipated. And that clean that you anticipated to take 4 hours, right, with one person is now a 6, 7, 8 hour job. So now you've went from 4 hours at $50 to 8 hours at $25. So this is one of the reasons why we have never pitched our services as flat rates unless it is a recurring client, meaning that we've already cleaned this client's house before, meaning that, we don't really give a discount on our first cleanings and we're learning how long it should take to clean, right? And then our recurring clients, we will give a flat rate to, because we know how long the house is going to take and how frequently we're going to be there. But now if you are always having new clients' homes to go in and clean that are not going to be recurring, there is a chance that you are not going to be spot on all the time with your estimations of clean time. So what happened was we did do some flat rates in the beginning, I believe, but the issue with that was that we would show up to the jobs, end up spending a substantial amount of time over, and then actually losing money because we were putting technicians in to clean the job. Or if I was still cleaning at that time, I wasn't hitting my $50 an hour that I was trying to make. So I just wanted to start the video off by saying that, yes, you can certainly quote a flat rate. However, you are not allowing that flexibility to charge more. So we say in our business, when we talk to our clients, a home your size typically takes X amount of hours to clean, and a rate for that size home is, let's just say $300, assuming that we're only charging $50 and it's going to take us 6 hours to clean. Now then we continue to say, if for whatever reason, when we show up or, halfway through the clean, we realize that more time is going to be needed, you will be informed and it will be at an additional rate of $50 per hour. So that's how we word it with our clients, and they are always happy to book with us. Now, going back to that statement, let's say we know that a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom from experience takes 6 hours to clean, and we show up. Our technicians let the office know right away that, hey, this house is much bigger than we thought, much dirtier than we thought, whatever the case may be. This is going to take way more than 6 hours. Now, we will get on the phone with the client and let them know and say, hey, Ms. Arellano, we just wanted to let you know the team just arrived, and they let us know that this is more of an 8-hour job. Would you like us to stay within the 6-hour cleaning estimation at $300, or would you like to approve any additional time? Now, of course, you may not know right away how much additional time that is, but once you guys start to clean and learn, you will get closer to saying, it might just take an extra hour. We're looking at 2. Now, sometimes you won't realize that you need more time until halfway through the clean, or maybe even an hour before you're to wrap that clean up. And again, that could be because of the dirt level, meaning you might walk into a house and say, okay, yeah, this is only going to take me 6 hours. But then you get to that one bathroom or that kitchen, right? Because the bathrooms and the kitchens are usually having the highest amount of dirt level due to grease, food splatter. If we're talking bathrooms, body oil, having to scrub toilets, and showers that have not been cleaned in ages. A bathroom and a kitchen can take you 1 hour alone. You know what I mean? Like a shower could take you an entire hour to clean if you have to really scrub and go over it over and over again. Now, again, I'm speaking on my own experience. I cleaned for an entire year before we started to hire people, before I got out of the field completely. So I do know my clean times. I know how long each room should take, and I know how long each room could take in a different scenario. So again, we usually let our client know as soon as we arrive if we think it's going to take more time, or at the very latest, we give them a call 1 hour prior to the estimated time. So let's just say we were cleaning a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. We know that usually takes us 3 to 4 hours. And let's just say 3 to keep the math simple. So on that second hour of cleaning, we would call the client and say, hey, Ms. Arellano, we're coming up to the top of the last hour, and we're going to need about an additional half an hour to an hour of clean time. Because of XYZ, because there was a lot of grease on the cabinets, because, the back bathroom really needed a lot of TLC. And homeowners, they know their home, so they know that, we're not just saying this is true facts. Now, 80% of the time, the clients will go ahead and approve the additional time. And if for any reason that other 20% of the time they do want to stick within the price that they were quoted, we will tell them, okay, well, in that case, where would you like the team to focus, or where would you like me to focus? We have an hour left, and this is where we're at in the home or the apartment. What matters the most to you? They might tell you, you know what, do all the floors. They might tell you, you know what, just focus on the kitchen or skip the family room, whatever the case may be. They are completely understanding. You just have to go in when you're quoting with them and speaking to them on the phone and communicating your pricing and just letting them know that this is how long it should take, this is the price, and anytime additional will be at this rate. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out the way. Now let's get into the good stuff. How do you decide your hourly rate? Well, number one, you need to understand what it is going to cost you. Now, if you're a solo cleaner, your cost might be low, right? Because you might be working out of your home office, you're paying yourself. Heck, maybe you haven't even, started an official business yet. So it could be all profit outside of your supplies. But you want to make sure you take all these things into account. If you're paying somebody else, and again, we do the subcontractor method, but I'm going to talk on this from different angles. Let's say you're subcontracting this workout. How much are you going to pay that subcontractor? Realistically, right? How much do you have to pay them, and pay them fairly, making sure that they can cover their supplies, they're paying their own gas, they're paying their old tolls, and this is their time. Right? So let's just say, for example, you want to pay that subcontractor $30 an hour because that's fair in your area. Again, let's say, so you're paying them those $30 and you want to make $30 on top of that. Again, we're talking subcontracting method. This is how we run the business, and I'll get into what we price later on in the video. But for math's sake, you want to pay the subcontractor $30, you want to make $30. So right now, you know, your hourly rate is going to be $60 an hour. Okay? Easy enough. Number two, if you are doing this as a W-2 employee method, there's going to be a lot more costs involved, right? You are paying for the drive time. You're paying out of pocket for the supplies. You are, you know, paying for workman's compensation. You are paying for, and we call this loaded overhead, right? So it's going to be different, right? So, but you have to figure, okay, I'm paying this person, let's just say it's $18 an hour, but really it's costing me $22 an hour, right? With your loaded overhead. How much now do I want to make on top of that? So again, let's say you want to make an additional $22 an hour on top of that. So now you're looking at about $44 an hour for your hourly rate. So you do have to understand, what is this going to cost you? What is your loaded overhead? And what type of profit margin are you looking to make? Because at the end of the day, we want to be profitable. You cannot charge your clients $25 an hour, but it's costing you $22 an hour to send that person out. Then you're only making $3 an hour. And are you really even making those $3 an hour because of travel time, because of gas, because of tolls, because of you having to pay them back for all these different things? So this is really important to consider when you're trying to figure out how much you're going to charge per hour. I talk to a countless number of new cleaning business owners, and we will sit down and do the math and try to understand why they're not making enough money. And it's because of them not understanding what it's actually costing them to send people out. And also, I have a full video on why I moved from W-2 employees to 1099 contractors that I think you guys should absolutely check out. I will put a link in the description of this video for you guys. All right, so now we talked about what is it going to cost you, whether it's a subcontractor or a 1099 employee, right? So now we want to talk about how to figure out what the going rate in your area is. And now I want to tell you this, and it's very important. Do not compare yourself to cleaning ladies or fellas. Okay. And the reason why I say that, and again, this is no shade to any solo cleaners out there or any cleaning ladies or fellas. I'm only saying this because you cannot compare yourself to somebody that is not running an actual business or is running a business, right? Don't attack me in the comments, but is not looking to scale this business, because you will never be able to grow your cleaning business if you are trying to compete with someone that is not trying to grow their cleaning business, if that makes any sense, right? I went into this business already knowing that I wanted to make $1 million. I wanted to have a team, and I eventually did not want to clean any longer. And as of, a year or so ago, I'm completely hands off with the cleaning business, only but for a couple hours a week. And if you watch any of my videos, you know that I cleaned for the first, 8 or 9 months until I removed myself, and was really just working on the business. So this video is for those that are looking to scale their cleaning business, be profitable, and be able to hire subcontractors or employees. So don't compare yourself or your pricing to mom and pop shops or those that are just cleaning as a side hustle, or again, not looking to grow their business and hire other people. So what you want to do is make sure to do your due diligence, meaning do your homework and find out pricing from other cleaning companies in your area or the areas that you want to service, right? So by doing that, you are going to, search cleaning businesses in your area, go onto their website, make a spreadsheet, write down, have different tabs, write down how much they're charging for a 1-bed, 1-bath, how much they're charging for a 2-bed, 2-bath, see how much the pricing is changing on their instant quoting and booking forms, which we should all have on our websites now. I will have a link for another video talking about that in the description of this video, and try to figure out what the math is, right? See how much they're charging. And I'm not saying to just go ahead and go with that pricing right away. You're going to have to do this for a number of different cleaning companies, at least 10 to 15. This is not something that you guys can just try to skip out on or ignore. This is going to take some work. And this is what I did when I first started, okay? I checked people's websites. I made a ton of phone calls, acting as if I was a cleaning client. And this is called market research, you guys. Like, no, it's not shady. No, it's not crooked. Like, no, you're trying to figure out what other people are charging, okay? And I'm happy to share my pricing with other cleaning companies. And I don't take that offensively, right? Because there is enough business for all of us to go around, to all of us, for all of us to make. There is no way that my cleaning business can clean every single home in the state of New Jersey, or let alone in my service area. It's just impossible, right? So for you people that are going to be like, oh, that's so shady. No, it's not. No, it's not. I know that's what you did to figure out your pricing. So please calm down. So make those phone calls, go on the websites. And let's just say, for example, you call another cleaning company and they tell you or give you a flat rate, right? So they say, well, for a 2-bed, 2-bath, it's $200. You could say, okay, great. Well, how many people are you going to send out? Oh, we send out 2 people. Okay. So you send out 2 people. And how long will they be here? They'll be there for 2 hours. So now that tells me you're paying $200 for 4 hours of cleaning time. That's $50 an hour. And you guys are going to keep hearing me say $50 an hour just because it's really easy to do the math, okay? That's the only reason why. But then you reverse it, right? And then you can say, okay, well, how much is it going to be to add the fridge? It's going to be $250. Okay, so that tells me it's $50 for the fridge. How much to do the oven? Another $50. Okay, so now you're telling me it's $50 for an oven, and so on, right? So these are the types of things that you want to try to figure out during your market research period. And again, this is very important for you guys so that you can go in and understand, what you should be pricing. You don't want to be too low because you want to be profitable, and you don't want to be too high, right, over what's going in your market. Now, like I said, figure that out, call different cleaning companies, go on their websites. This might take you a couple of days, and find a nice medium, right? So when we were in grammar school, we learned how to figure out the average of something. So if you have 10 cleaning companies, you add them all up, what their hourly rate is, divide it out by 10, and you will have an average as to what the going rate is in your market. Now, when we were doing this, we were calling all types of businesses. So we were calling like the big chains, Molly Maids, New Jersey, house cleaners, whatever those big chains were. And we figured out, and a lot of them will even tell you, you can just straight up ask, what is your hourly rate per person? And they'll tell you it's $50, it's $60. I live in New Jersey. Okay, you guys, I am on the East Coast. I live in New York. I work in New Jersey. It's one of the most expensive parts of the country, aside from California, that I can think of on the top of my head to live. Okay, we are currently at $70 per hour per person. Okay, again, $70 per hour per person. There are other cleaning companies in my area that are charging more. Okay, and some of them are even solo cleaners. They're charging $75 an hour, $100 an hour. So don't come crazy with me or telling me it's not realistic to charge $75 because you live in, Wyoming or somewhere that's not on the East Coast. Because that's another thing. You guys are always getting me in the comments like, relax, I charge pretty fairly, and I'm always doing research as to what people are charging nowadays, because I know that the cost of living is rising. Like, we also have to keep that in mind. Cleaning supplies don't cost what they used to in 2018 or 2019. A bottle of Easy Off was like under $3 when I first started this business, and now it's almost $8 a bottle. So if you guys clean homes, you know what I'm talking about. So that's number one. Do your market research, find out what the going rate is per hour, and also, more importantly, understand what it's going to cost you, okay? We charge $70 an hour. We give our subcontractors $35 an hour, 50% of that. Even split. And because, again, I know my costs. I know what it costs me to run my business. I know what I pay in marketing. I know what I pay my office manager. I know what I pay for all of the things. So that's really, really important. When you are doing that market research, like I said, find a sweet spot for yourself so that you are somewhere that is fair and good for your business. So just to give a little bit of backstory really quickly, when I first started my business, we were at $45 an hour per person. So $95 for a team of 2. We are currently at $140 for a team of 2, or $70 per person. Now, you don't want to confuse yourselves with, clean times when you're trying to do the math, meaning that we charge per person per hour. So again, I'm going to just use $50 for example. If I know a 2-bed, 2-bath takes 4 hours, then that's $200, right? $50 per person. Now, if I send 2 people in there, it's still going to be $200, but it should only take 2 hours. So I just don't want you guys to confuse yourselves or undercharge, right? Like, I've talked to some of my mentees, and they've told me, oh yeah, we charge $45 an hour. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's per person, right? And they're like, no, not per person. And I'm like, so you're really not charging $45 an hour. You're charging, what is that, like $22.50 an hour, and you're paying them $20 an hour. So you're only making $2.50 an hour. So don't confuse yourselves on that, guys. I would always say, when you're doing the math, always just think of total clean time. 6 hours house cleaning, 60 times 50 is 300. If you send 2 people in there, it's still going to be 300, but now it's going to be a 3-hour clean because it's 2 people. 2 times 3 equals 6. So that was something I just kind of wanted to be clear on. Now, we talked about how to approve the additional time with your clients should you choose to do the hourly rate per cleaning. Again, you give them a call and you let them know what's going on. Now, something else I want to talk about with how to price house cleaning. Let's say you don't know your clean times, okay? You've never cleaned a house before, and maybe you don't ever plan on cleaning a house. Maybe you're opening a remote cleaning business and you're not going to clean, right? I'll be happy to share some of my clean times with you guys, and I will also be happy to share a residential client intake list. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video, and I will have the residential intake form for you guys to download, and it has a list of questions for you guys to ask. It's going to help you be able to quote your cleanings and like be more on point so that you have an understanding of, okay, this should take this long or this should take that long. But I will just kind of get into how long it usually takes us to clean. So 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom typically takes anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Now we have a minimum. Okay, so our minimum is 4 hours. That's another thing that we should talk about very quickly. You can set your own minimum and you can always change your minimum. Meaning, what is the least amount of money that you're going to go out and clean for? Because at the end of the day, our time is money, right? And also, your minimum can change depending on your financial situation. If you really need the money, then go out and work for that hour or two at $50 or whatever it is, right? Because you need to feed yourself, your family, and take care of yourself. Now, as you start to get clientele, as you start to gain more cleans, you can always adjust that minimum. You might have a 3-hour minimum, meaning that at $50, you're not going to come out for anything less than $150, right? The more that you grow, the more that you can put these kind of items in place. You know, I always say, take care of yourselves. If you need the money, go do it. We took every single type of clean. We didn't have a minimum in the beginning. I would have came to clean your bathroom for $50, okay? That's how bad I needed the cash. Now, I'm at a point in my business where we will not come out for less than 4 hours because it's just not suitable. It doesn't really make too much sense for me or my teams, my technicians that I send out. But you can also have a minimum should you choose to, and you can always change that minimum as you go. So let's just say, for example, a 1 bed, 1 bath, I said it should take us about 3 hours, but we charge for 4. 2 bed, 2 bath typically takes us 4 hours. A 3 bed, 3 bath typically takes us 6 hours. A 4 bed, 4 bath typically takes 8 hours. A 5 bed, 5 bath, 10 hours. And as you'll notice, like rule of thumb for me, we're kind of multiplying the bedrooms and bathrooms, right? Again, I have created a full calculator with clean times per room, per extra, hallway, bathroom, all those things that you guys will need to quote for purchase. And I will link that in the description of this video. I think it's an awesome tool. I already have pre-populated clean times. It is 100% customizable. So let's say I have a kitchen down as an hour, but it's taking you an hour and a half. You can go ahead and adjust that from 1 to 1.5. Or let's say you clean faster than my team because maybe your checklist is a little bit different, right? You guys can go ahead and adjust that. Also, the hourly rate, you can always adjust. So let's say you're starting off at $40 now, and in a couple of months, you're charging $60. You can go ahead and adjust that. So I'll be sure to link the residential clean bid calculator for you guys below. I also mentioned the residential intake form. It has a number of questions that is going to help you with quoting your clients and also not getting gypped because our clients don't always know what type of cleaning that they need, right? They might call it a deep clean, but really it's a post-construction and you can charge more for that, okay? You can charge up to $20, $30 per hour more for post-construction. Somebody might say, they need a deep clean, but it's really a move in, move out cleaning, right? So this residential intake form is going to help you have a better understanding and ask all the right questions so that you know what to expect when you go in or send your team. I also do have a number of customer guidelines as well as all of the internal forms and paperwork that you could possibly need for your cleaning business, meaning employee handbooks, commercial cleaning contracts, residential cleaning guidelines, checklists, right? How to clean properly. So like checklists are in the actual order in which you should clean in, and so forth. So I'll also be sure to put a link in the description of this video for you guys on all the internal forms that we have. So we have 3 different packages, one for residential cleaning, one for commercial cleaning, and one for full service cleaning businesses. So that will be made available for you guys. As I mentioned earlier in this video, your hourly rate is going to change over the years because of the cost of living going up, right? It's just going to happen. And also in those internal form paperwork bundles that we have price increase letters, email templates, all kinds of things. If you guys go check out my website, I have created a number of downloadable, forms, online courses. I have one-on-one coaching. I have the residential bid calculator. You can buy commercial leads. I mean, we're always adding things that I think of that can help you guys.